delegate from South Carolina that I'd like to call on at this point. He had resisted introducing an amendment, but he's asked for a minute or two to talk about a key issue relating to this, and I'd also like to call now on the delegate from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alan Clemmons from South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, as we've reached the close of the national security section of the platform, I'd like to thank the committee members for their support of a strong expression in support of Israel. Like the United States of America, our greatest ally, the modern state of Israel is a country born from the aspiration of freedom and standing out among nations as a beacon of democracy and humanity. Beyond our mutual strategic interests, Israel is likewise an exceptional country that shares our most essential values. It is the only country in the Middle East where freedom of speech and freedom of religion are found. Therefore, support for Israel is an expression of Americanism. It is the responsibility of our party and our government to advance policies that reflect Americans' strong desire for a relationship with no daylight between America and Israel. For the last 4 years, instead of standing in support for the indivisibility of Jerusalem, the eternal capital of the Jewish people and their nation state, we've lent our silent approval to those wishing to split the city. Instead of calling for the U.S. Embassy to be moved from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem in fulfillment of U.S. law, we've remained silent. Making matters worse is the damaging language that has been unduly influenced by our platform from 2012, some of which completely tramples the sovereignty of the Israeli people and their government by endorsing President Obama and Hillary Clinton's efforts to pressure Israel into negotiating with her enemies in the face of suicidal risk. With the eyes of the country and wider world upon us, we have now arrived at a moment of truth, where we as a party must reckon with our principles and our faith. Over the last decade, public polling has definitively proven that the Republican Party base overwhelmingly stands with Israel. Yet that is not what our platform presently reflects. As it now stands, our platform endorses the idea of forcing Israel to concede strategically vital territory for the goal of creating a state to be run by the very terrorists and jihadists who seek Israel's destruction and who openly celebrated the attacks on America of September 11th. Today, I'm presenting platform language that captures the true sentiment of pro-Israel supporters everywhere. The ideas and principles it forwards transcend partisanship with the input of Mr. Trump's excellent team of advisors, as well as leading policy experts from across the spectrum. We have developed a plank that is wise and deliberate in its expression and shines a clear light upon the way forward. Today, we likewise call upon pro-Israel counterparts in the Democratic Party to stand and similarly pass good policy for their candidate and leadership at the upcoming convention. The false notion that the Jewish state is an occupier is an anti-Semitic attack upon Israel's legitimacy. It is impossible for the Jew to be an occupier in his own ancestral homeland, a region that has been known as Judea since time immemorial. The platform we present today places our support squarely behind Israel's sovereign right to decide her own future with God's help. It does not foreclose any possible solution to the conflicts Israel faces, including the two-state solution. Instead, it affirms that we will be here to support our greatest ally in solving her challenges as she sees fit and in her own superior judgment. Today, we send a clear message to the tens of millions of pro-Israel voters who must see that our party stands on faith and principle. Our Republican support for Israel's well-being is of paramount concern and will not be sold out or dumbed down for the sake of petty interests ever again. I ask all of you to stand with me and proudly make history as we, ladies and gentlemen, affirm for now and always that the Republican Party and America truly stand with Israel. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now I'd like to call on the chairman of this subcommittee, Delegate Carnes from Alabama, to offer a motion to the full plank.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that we adopt this plank as amended into the platform.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The plank is adopted. Thank you very much for all your consideration and hard work during this plank. Ben.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairman, and thank you, delegates. Great work. We're going to break for lunch, an early lunch. When you get back, the government reform section amendments will be placed at each of your seats.